Hi, so what I was saying is that our trades close based on these based on this method. So if it doesn't take a profit or a stop loss, but it ends at a lower price level than when the trade was opened, it will continue on to 30 minutes. And in those 30 minutes, it also doesn't take a profit or a stop loss, and it also ends at a loss, it'll continue to 45 minutes. And within those 45 minutes, it also doesn't take a profit or a stop loss, but it ends at a loss anyways. We've set the maximum time to be 45 minutes. So regardless whether it ends at a relatively higher price level than when this trade opened, it will still close that trade after those 45 minutes. But let's say this trade hits the 10 pip profit, it'll immediately close that position. Also, if it doesn't hit the 10 pip profit, but the candlestick ends at a higher price level than when the trade opened, it would also close that position, and it would close immediately after 15 minutes. But let's say it doesn't take a profit. Let's say it doesn't end at a higher price level than when the trade opened, and it ends at a loss, and it moves on to 30 minutes. So let's say in those 30 minutes, it doesn't take a profit, it doesn't hit a stop loss level, but it does close the candlestick at a higher price level than when this trade opened, then it will close the position after those 30 minutes. So let me continue on with this trade and see how it goes. So you can see here that it didn't take a profit, it ended at a loss, so it continues on to 30 minutes. And let's see. Also, another thing I didn't mention is that we can also see that the trend of the candlestick breaks through the support line here. So we can see that it went down, it went just a bit lower the support line, then it retraced itself back up, and then breaking through the 23.6 line. So, which is a good indicator that it'll probably continue going up afterwards. So we can see here that this candlestick ended just a bit below where this trade was open. So it continues on to 45 minutes, or the next candlestick, and you can see that it's about to hit the 10 pip profit, and it hits the 10 pip profit, and we can see down here that it takes $100 profit, and it's set that way because we set it so that 1 pip is $10, and therefore 10 pips would equal $100. And as soon as that trade closes, we can see that another trade is open, because relatively speaking, from this candlestick, we can see that its previous candlestick also broke through the upper band. The two bands, the upper band is going upward and the lower band is going downward. We can see as well that the trend continues going up, and it breaks through this 38.2 Fibonacci line, a good indication that the trend is continuing at an upward direction. We can see the MACD is still above the zero baseline. The RSI is very strong, breaking through the 70 line, indicating a good signal to open a trade. And it opens the trade as soon as the candlestick breaks through the upper bound as well. So continue, see how it ends up. And so relatively from where this trade was open, the candlestick ended just a bit below, so it continues on to 30 minutes, the next candlestick. Seems to be reaching the take profit price level. So it didn't reach the take profit price level here, but relatively speaking from where this trade was opened, this candlestick ended above that price level, so it closed the position as soon as the new candlestick starts. So we can see here, we should see a 30-minute time. So it opened at 11:57 and it closed around 12:15. So it's a good time. And we can see here that we took a $33 profit. Alright, so moving on to our next example, we're in July 17th now. We can see in white the resistance line, the support line, and the Fibonacci line. But seems that the trend seems to be just below the support line. And we can see here, we zoom in, we can see that this candlestick broke through the upper band. The upper band is going up, this lower band is going down. The MACD is above the zero baseline. You can see that the RSI is at a value of 67.56, approaching the 70 line, so a very good signal to open a trade, which it does. And let's see how it does now. So it didn't take a profit. It ended at a lower price level than when it opened, so it continues on to 30 minutes, the next candlestick. It also opened relatively below where the trade was open, so it continues on to the 45 minutes now. Let's see within that time. So doesn't seem very obvious. So it ended at a $3 loss, and it closed the position anyways, no more than 45 minutes. And we can see here that it opened at 17:30 and it closed at 18:15. So 45 minutes, within the 45-minute time frame. And you can see here that the MACD is still above the zero baseline. The RSI went up at 69.17. So moving on to our next example, we can see here, we're in July 18th now. You see the new set of resistance line, support line, and our Fibonacci lines within. And so if we can take a look here at this tray here, you can see that this candlestick broke through just a bit on the upper band, sorry. And the upper band is definitely going at an upwards direction, breaking apart, and the lower is going at a downwards direction. You can see that the MACD is above the zero baseline and the RSI approaching the 70 line, so a very good strong signal to open a trade, which it does. So we can see here it doesn't open a trade down here because it's still below the upper band, and as soon as it crosses the upper band, it opens a trade. And you can see that the candlestick closed below where the trade was opened, so it moves on to, so it doesn't close after those 15 minutes, it moves on to 30 minutes, meaning so the next candlestick. And we can see that this candlestick actually opened at a higher price level than where the trade was open, so it closes as soon as the new candlestick as soon as this new candlestick begins. So see here that this is the 18th at 5:15. So this one is number 32. So we can see here that it opened at 5:22 and closed at 5:45. And it took a $19 profit. And so now currently here we can see that this candlestick has broken through the upper band. The upper band is going up, the lower band is going down, breaking apart, and we can see that this candlestick has breaking through the resistance line, so a very good strong signal that it's going to continue going up. And we can see the MACD is above the zero baseline, even breaking through the signal line, and the RSI is currently at a 74.36 and going up, so a very strong signal to open a trade. So as soon as the next candlestick begins and it breaks through the upper band, it should trigger a trade to open. And we can see that as soon as it does, it's above the upper band and it triggers a trade. And so let's see down here. So we can see that it didn't take a profit, otherwise it would have shown a green here and it would have been $100 profit here, but it does end at a higher price level than where the trade opens, so it closes as soon as that candlestick ends, so it ends after 15 minutes. And we can see here 10:30, 10:45, 15 minutes, and we can see here that it took a $35 profit. And that's how pretty much it goes on to doing. So you can see that as every day changes, the resistance lines and the support line values change, as well as the Fibonacci lines placement changes depending on the course of the day that's on. So in our next example, we're here in July 24th now, and I want to show a quick